Welcome back to Veggie Shopping List Generator Android app documentation. In this video, I will show you some of the activity in more detail that you can do in grocery list mode. So this is the grocery list mode here. I will select it. And of course, I'm starting with an empty grocery list. So the first thing I will do is I will, using the menu plan, I selected the menu, and I will add item by name. No, sorry, I will add the menu plan item first. And here I had the well-established menu plan, and it came out with these set of recipe. And you'll notice in there that some have the store and aisle number, and some don't. So I will correct that later on. But before doing that, I will want to show you how to add item by name. So if I select add item by name, it comes with the product name, and I want to get some banana. So you can see from the predefined list, the autocomplete, I have ordered banana before, so it's picked that up, so I add banana. And that's all I want to add by name. So I go back to the selection here. Oops, sorry, I go back to, oh, and I terminate add by name. And here's my banana here in Metro Aisle 0. Okay. So you can add item by name like that. You can actually build a whole grocery list by name, and with the autocomplete, it makes it quite easy. The other thing you can do is I can add a list of items that like I have the regular list, which is kind of my weekly list. So I can add a list of items. It comes with the last list I picked up, which was regular. So I'm just going to add that to the list, and it's been added. Now, when the difference between menu plan item and list is in menu plan, I will take all of the recipe and combine the ingredient and calculate the total sum. And when I'm adding by list, I just pick up the ingredient from the list and drop them in the menu plan. I will override quantity from the menu plan item when I add by list if it's the same item. Now, I mentioned that some of the items have no store and aisle, so I will go and select update store and aisle. And I shop mostly in a store called Metro, and there's the autocomplete that picks it up. And I note that aisle 0 is where, or aisle 1 is where all of the spice are. So I'm going to set the aisle to 1, and I'm going to go down to my list, and that's where the flour would be. That's where the pimento will be in that same aisle. That's where the salt would be. That's where the sugar would be. And I have celery rib would be in aisle 0, which is before aisle 1. Oops, sorry. So the celery ribs. The blueberry are in the frozen section, which is I call the aisle frozen or FR. So I can actually go and I buy frozen blueberry, and the Crisco will be in aisle 3. So now I have Worcestershire sauce would actually be in aisle 0 as well. So I may as well do that one. Now I'd like to point out to do the update store and aisle number like that. This is done locally in your device, so you can do that while you're in the store. You don't use your data plan. You don't need to have a Wi-Fi connection or anything. This is strictly local to your device. So once I'm done with updating store and aisle number, I can get out of that. But there's other thing I can do with this store and aisle. I can update, rename, or delete ingredient. I have in my list here an ingredient. One of the recipes says of sliced pimento, and I would like to change that to pimento. So what I do is I go to update store and aisle, and I will key the keyword here, rename. We never autocomplete the word rename, so just so you don't type it by error when you don't really want to do that. And now I have to find my sliced pimento again, and I select it. And now it says enter the new name for of sliced pimento. I just want to call it pimento. Rename. So now if I go back, of sliced pimento has been renamed to pimento. And now this is one of the place you would want to use that is if you download the Veggie Revolution recipe, you may want to modify them. You may want to, like, some recipe will said use margarine, and like we use the brand Earth Balance, so I would change margarine to Earth Balance. Now when you do a rename like that in the grocery list, it will rename all of the recipe you've already downloaded that have that name. So not just if instead of rename I said delete and add an ingredient, it will remove that ingredient from your database. If the ingredient is referenced by one or more recipe, it will give you the recipe name, and it'll ask you to confirm, do you really want to delete, because it will then remove that ingredient from that recipe. We've already seen when we are shopping, so I'm done with the Terminate Island. Now I'm shopping, and I've picked up the ingredient from the store, and I can, of course, we can rotate the screen. You already know, and the done item will all go to the bottom of the list, so I can change my mind. I can remove the done item from the list with remove done item. And now if I go to the bottom, there is nothing there. Now removing the done item does not remove the item from the database, it just removes them from your current this week grocery list. We can, once we are done, shopping, and we've acquired everything, you may just want to just go and clear the grocery list. I'm done with this grocery list, and now I'm back to an empty grocery list. So I hope this help in the function you can do with grocery list. We should look, see if there is any other. We have clear, we've done remove done item, we've done update store and aisle, and that include rename and delete, add menu item, add list of item. Now add list of item, you could pick up any of the recipe. You have to know to spell the name properly because it is spelling sensitive. You can add item by name. Some people do grocery by just having their own lists, and they don't use the Veggie Revolution website, which is too bad because there's some great vegetarian recipe there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video we will talk about taking backup of your, because I've talked about having your own database with store and aisle numbers, so you may want to back that up from time to time. Enjoy the app, and send me some note right to the developer, Gilles Fecteau at rogers.com, if you have comments, or you can go to the listing for the app, and it has a pointer there to write to the developer. Thank you very much again, and good luck with the app.